Fresh, fresh, flex, fresh, hell my left, got with cafe breath.
Hi. Hi. Good morning. Now, I usually be coming on this early in the morning. I'm still sleepy. I'm like low-key still sleepy. So I had to get up. One, because it's my baby's birthday. So it's a birthday, so I had to wake up. So and yeah, we're doing stuff today, but yeah. So on top of that, Megan the Stallion, her interview has came out. Now I'm going to look YouTube, look CBS. Nah, YouTube, CBS. So we're gonna play the interview. We absolutely are. And hold on, cause they be trying it. Hold on, they be trying to look, bam. Fair use, absolutely. And this is the YouTube version. And this is the YouTube version. So we gonna listen to it. We surely is. Let me do a real nigga roll call. Let me say hi to all of y'all. Hey y'all. Kenya, Real, Ivory, Ashley, Redbone, Lamont, Ultra, Kimberlyn, moderator, Redbone, Stacy, first home tuber. Hi. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Shout out to y'all. Go subscribe to her channel. Okay. First home tuber. All of y'all that need a house, a place, anything like that, y'all go to her. Go to her. She's gonna help y'all get in a place. Oh, so shout out to First Home Tuber. I love her. She's so beautiful. Like if you just want to just go stare at somebody pretty talk, go watch her. Valerie, beautiful Kimmy, Crystal, too persuasive moderator, Queen, Caramel, Ivory. I said Ivy. Issa, Belle. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, Wonder Woman, moderator. Baby Shay, moderator. Alexis, moderator. Hey, everyone. So, I love you all. I love you all. Welcome, Sylvia the Screenwriter. Welcome. So we about to talk about Pegasus, and we about to pull hosts. I'm not digging my nose. I'm fixing my nose ring. See, I have one. Okay. So, and my notes is clean. It's big, so you know it's clean. So, yes. So Megan, y'all, she out here talking. Ooh, Tory ex-girlfriend is out here speaking. So Tory Lane's ex-girlfriend, allegedly, Pegasus, Megan. The Stallion is, her interview dropped with Gayle King on CBS Morning. Mm-hmm. So it dropped on there, and I was disappointed. I really was. I was disappointed because, look, Megan, I just feel like you shouldn't talk about this. Like, I feel like you should just leave it be, Megan gives me, what I got from this interview is that, Megan, you care a lot about what people think. Like, I think that's like your Achilles, because Achilles heel, because like you just care way too much about what people think. That's one thing that I did notice, like throughout this interview. It's just like, well, are you doing this because I just feel like you're just doing it because I just didn't get it. I'm thinking like, okay, well, maybe there's a purpose, that she's talking about this. And it'll come along throughout the interview. Like, I'll get why she's sitting down having this conversation throughout the interview. And honestly, Megan, I feel like you just did it because you care about what people think. Like, well, since everybody think that I'm lying, since everybody think this, since everybody think that, I want to go to like a really big platform and say what I want to say. The type of situation against the naysayers and stuff like that. To me, this was not genuine. This was not her getting on there as a victim coming forward telling her story. She is a victim, especially if, she allegedly, got pow. She is victim. So no matter what, with her allegedly being pow, she is a victim. So there's no way to flip it, until she proves otherwise, until somebody else proves otherwise that she actually didn't get pow. Because from what I get, it does seem as if she may have gotten pow. Like it looks like that happened. So I say that she is a victim of that. A victim of being pow by allegedly a man. From her perspective, she says that Tory did this. Megan, you really didn't take any accountability for anything. I find that weird too. Like, if you in an argument with someone, you're just in an argument with them. Like, you argue with your friends. I get that. Her pushing this narrative that her and Tory are just like really good friends. I do think that they were friends, but they were friends with benefits. Like that, there definitely was benefits. She stumbled on that question. Megan, you definitely did, girl. You stumbled on that question. I was just like, what's what's to think about? If you know that you and Tory were never intimate, there was no sexual relationship between you two, then just say no. Like, why do you have to think about it? Like, it's nothing to think about. If you've never, and you have friends, and the majority of them you probably never encountered sexually. So it's simple to just be like, no. But for her to stop and think, I'm like, what you got to think? What's there to think about? Like, no. That simple. Not sexually. And out of the like, girl, Megan, Pegasus. Like, I'm like, okay, girl. All right. Okay, Megan. Okay. You definitely tried it. But you didn't want there to be a connection to you and Tory due to the scandal that involves, you and Kelsey, allegedly. So of course you're gonna be like, no. I'm like, girl, hair flip. I'm like, you're big lying. I'm like, sorry, Meg. Like, I'm like, yeah, girl, you're big lying. You definitely slept with Tory. Like, y'all were kicking it. Like, y'all definitely were. So I'm like, okay, that's not a good start. Like, I would have just been like, it's her business. So it's not like she truly has to say it, but I would have respected her like pleading the fifth or just being like, I don't really talk about, what I do in the bedroom with people, stuff like that. I would have respected that more than her just being like, no. Like, girl, I'm like, oh, now you ain't sleeping up. Okay. All these shades you've been throwing at Kelsey in songs. If you ain't effing him right past him to me, all of this stuff that you done shaded, girl. I said, now go ahead and tell the truth. It ain't a reason for you to sit here and lie. Just if you don't want to talk about it, like I said, she doesn't have to. That's her business. And as a woman, she doesn't have to sit there and display who she. And that's what I said with Gayle, Oprah wife, Oprah woman. That lesbian Gayle sat there and asked her. I'm like, girl, you don't have to ask Megan that. I'm like, no, girl, now this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I'm like, girl, because now that was shady. You asking her that question. You a woman, allegedly, Gayle. So for you to sit there as a woman and ask her, is it okay for Megan to ask you who you laid up with? I heard you was laid up with Oprah. Open your mouth. No, because that just made me mad. I'm like, you sitting there supposed to be a whole woman. And you gonna ask that girl that? I was like, oh, girl, that's shady. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to be. Think about it. Like, as a woman, Gayle, there was no reason for you to ask Megan if she was sexual with Tory. There was no reason for that. What does that have to do with anything? That still don't give him the right if he allegedly, like she says, did what he did to her, pow her. Don't give him the right. It don't excuse, and it also doesn't explain anything either. So it's just like, oh, okay, well, you guys were dating, or sleeping together. So now I understand why he pow-powed you. No. Because that ain't got nothing to do with that. I was like, yeah, that doesn't, what does this correlate with? What are we getting into? Asking her if she slept with Tory. That doesn't. I'm like, and as a woman, I could see a man asking her that. I could see like a Charlotte Gay, or somebody like that saying that to Megan, like during the interview. I could see that. But a woman, I'm like, come on now. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to ask her that. Gayle, girl, I heard you slept with Oprah. True, false, what? Ridiculous. Okay. So you don't think that was? I was like, that's very unladylike. I said that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I was talking to my cousin on the phone, and she agreed with me. She was just like, yeah, that really isn't ladylike. She was like, why would she ask her that? I'm like, right. I'm like, that's none of her business. It's not America's business. That don't have nothing to do with why she's sitting here. I'm like, gross. I'm like, gross. Gross. She wasn't getting the tea because hold on, Raquel, she wasn't getting the tea because she could have correlated that to Kelsey, which she never did. When she brought up Kelsey and that dry lie text message, I'm like, oh, look at that text message. I said that, where is it? Because that can't be the real one. I was like, okay, well, where's this text message? Because I've never heard anything of this text message. I don't see none in the transcripts that they did release about court, about Kelsey's text message saying these things to the bodyguard. I don't, news to me. I was like, oh, the plot thickens. I was like, because she should have gotten into that. If she said, oh, okay, well, Kelsey messaged him that. Okay, well, when did she message him that? Girl, what time was that? Girl, was the police there after? Or was this after the police? Was you at the hospital? It's after surgery? Like, I would have had a type of question. So she wasn't getting the tea. She was borderline getting the tea. But her sleeping with Tory, that is, to me, it's a non-factor. I really don't see how that factors in with anything, especially if Megan was pow-powed. That don't give nobody the right to pow-pow her because, shout out to Jerry. Jerry said, I believe Megan, she provided not all the evidence. And it is clear that Tory pow-powed her. The confession from Kelsey and the medical report was it for me. All right. Go, Jerry. Go, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. Whoo. Whoo. Shout out to Super Space. She said yay to SeanDavieWay. Yay to not yay to Pegasus. Shout out to Super Space. Thank you for the super chat, sweetie. Tech Yourself said it's given that one episode of Martin where he's telling how him and Gina met laughing. There's some too many stories. Nothing is the truth. I agree. There are a lot of stories. There are a lot of stories. Brad's Preference X says they do these interviews because they love seeing themselves on TV. They don't hate to have to do them. No, I agree. They do like to see themselves on TV, and when you go on platforms like that, you want this to spread fast, So, because look at it, it's everywhere, So you want the information to spread quickly. So yeah, going on those type of platforms, absolutely. Absolutely. But I do feel that Gayle was hi Tip West moderator. She says good morning. Good morning, girl. Good morning, girl. Natasha says, I don't trust Oprah. She was besties with Harvey Weinstein and the psychopath. Not a psycho. No, I don't Oprah. Ooh, Oprah. Ooh, Oprah. Ooh, Oprah. Miami in November says always asking about sexual encounters, but has secrets of her own. No, I agree. I just think that was a lot, for her. Like you don't need to ask her that. Like she already's dealing with enough. Like get to the tea. We want to know about what happened, girl. Cause look, we wouldn't care about that. Tory made a whole album that she had took off the shelf about all them sleeping together, and now she want to sit up here and say they ain't sleeping together. Girl, y'all was sleeping together. I pulled up the tweet from Tory that said he got caught up. That it got caught up. So Megan is trying to maintain a fan base at this point. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. But y'all ready? Let's get into this interview. Hold on. I'm gonna look. This is the interview. I'm gonna play a little piece so y'all know it's real.
I was ready to go.
Okay, so y'all see that I'm not making this up. It's not me. I'm putting this fair use disclaimer up, and we're gonna do commentary in between.
Because I have been there all day. So you guys end up in a car. You, Tory Lanez, your friend at the time, Kelsey, and his driver / security. Tory Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, is a Grammy-nominated rapper and singer from Canada. Kelsey Harris was one of Megan Thee Stallion's best friends from Houston. There was an argument, and you get out of the car, right?
At that point, the argument wasn't even with me. Like, the argument was with the two people in the backseat.
My fault. Now you can hear me. She don't want to say any names, but the two people she's talking about in the back seat is Tory and Kelsey. So Tory and Kelsey was allegedly in the back seat. So the bodyguard was driving at this point in time. Okay, so we got to know where we are. So at this point in time, the bodyguard, Tory's bodyguard, is driving the SUV. Okay, they're in a black SUV. And the bodyguard is driving, so I have to set y'all up, right? And then Megan is in the passenger seat of the SUV, right? And Tory and Kelsey are in the back seat, all right? Big dot. They were arguing with each other. They were arguing, okay? Tory and Kelsey. So this is where we are within the story, okay? Now, I'm about to put this disclaimer back up. We're going to get back into it.
So I asked the driver to pull the car over. Like, I'm done with this. And I should have stayed out of the car. Like, I should have not got back in the car. And they was like, Megan, just get back in the car. We almost there. Like, just get back in. So I get back in the car. It's like it's getting worse.
Like, arguing in the car.
The arguing in the car is getting worse. And I don't want to be in this car no more. Like, because I see it's getting crazy. So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast.
So, y'all, so she get out the car because she said that they was arguing in the back seat and she just couldn't do it no more. She just couldn't do it no more. Thank you, Shayna. She couldn't do it no more. So she couldn't sit in the car anymore and she wanted to get out because she said, this is getting bad. Y'all getting on my nerves. I need to get out this car. Okay? Is what she is saying. Ooh, Lord, now. She could cry. Be nice, Tiffy girl. Ooh, y'all said making you lying, girl. Ooh, 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 y'all. Ooh. Please, hair flipping on this story. Why? No, girl, we have to talk about it, girl. We have to. It's messy. I would say if I missed any other people who donated, my apologies. I am at work trying to listen. Oh, shout out to Island at work. Listen to me by being a moderator. Look at the Lord. That's called multitasking. So Direct says, is it Direct? I hope I'm saying that right. Says, I hate to say it, but this story has more twists and turns than it is a lot. Amber says she left the car because they were arguing about her. Agreed. I'm like, yeah, you didn't want to, because they was talking about you. They in the backseat calling you all type of thoughts, and you a dirty horse. You running around, sleeping with everybody at the farm. I can't believe you. Kelsey was just like, oh, we supposed to have been friends. How could you do this to me? Oh my gosh, she was a friend of mine. Oh my gosh, she left with my man. She lied. She cheated. She left me confused. So Kelsey was in the backseat cussing Megan out. And Megan was in the front seat. Nay. Y'all, she wanted to get out. So Pegasus said, she wanted to get out. Then she got out the car. My God. Megan, tell us what happened to your girl. She telling us, y'all. She was twerking like a week later. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. She had to get her twerk. Alexa says she didn't mention Kelsey at all in the interview. I found that interesting. Me too. But they want to use Kelsey text message. This alleged text message. They want to use that, Alexis. I'm like, well, why y'all using the text message? Only Gayle said Kelsey's name. Other than that, Megan was saying they and she and he. I was like, man. I said, girl, just tell the story. You ain't gotta be this shady, girl. I wanted to finish reading it. Oh, right here. She just mentioned the text, right? And made it seem like it was mainly Tory. I noticed that too. I look now. Shout out to the Tierra Latricia. Y'all go subscribe to my girl. She says she should have cut some onions before. No, I believed her crying, y'all. Y'all got to stop. Megan. First of all, Megan looked beautiful. I have to tell her that she looked gorgeous. One thing I will give you, Gayle, your makeup artist and the people that do hair and everything. Because Megan looked good. Do you hear me? Megan looked good with a T. Megan looked great. She did. Megan looked beautiful. She did. She looked great. Megan looked amazing. I'm like, oh, she's so beautiful. Like she looked amazing. But because she began them because Jocelyn Savage and Azriel Clary, oh, she got them together. They was together. So hair flip. I gotta get that girl. Your makeup team and people that's there. Yes. I want to go to Good Morning America. I want them to get me together. That's like a whole makeover. Girl, I want to come on your show, girl, lesbian. Girl, I want to come on your show. I want to come on your show because gays, girl, you be having them put together. I was just like, okay, look at Megan. I was like, Megan, girl, you better, girl, if you gonna come up here doing all this, girl, you better be, girl. So yeah, she looked great. Megan looked amazing. So let's get back into this interview, y'all. Let's get back into it. Hold on, let me throw the smoke.
And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like he shot a couple of times. And I was so scared.
In the car shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window shooting. And I didn't even want to move.
So she said car seat, Tory Lanez, was standing above the window, like so standing outside of the vehicle, like we talked about yesterday. And, he had the weapon over the vehicle, obviously, because she said over the window. So that means over, the top of the vehicle, which is an SUV. Okay. So that is what I kind of found a little hard to believe because I'm like, well, Tory is short. So how did that happen? I'm like, but that's what she said. So I'm like, okay. Like, I'm not, okay. That's her, because car seat can't do all of that. Girl, you making him way taller than what he is. When you laying down, people are really tall. Like they could be any, the shortest can feel like the tallest because there's one mission, So you guys aren't laying down. Okay, girl, vertical, little guy, yay high. If Tory was here right now, he'd be right here, about right here. Yes, he would need something higher. Because I'm like, no, he's not tall enough for all that. I'm like, because that's the big SUV that y'all were in. So I'm like, no, he can't touch in nothing 6 feet. He can't touch in nothing 5 feet in the water. Like after 5 feet, so it's just like, I'm like, no, he's swimming on a shallow end. He over there in the 3.5. You know, that he taking pictures dancing in water, and that's about 3.5. Where he at about good 3 feet. He ain't in no 5 feet of water, 6 feet of water doing all of that. He already be help. Like no. So yeah, he's a little guy. He's a yay high. So no. I'm like, Megan. Mm-mm, mm-mm, I don't like this part. I don't like this part. I thought he was behind you. I thought he was outside the vehicle. He little. Girl, that's tall nigga stuff. No. Change this part. Megan, I didn't like that part. I didn't. So Rock Nation, I didn't like that part of the story. I'm like, no, I'm trying to believe her. I'm trying hard. I'm sitting there, pushing myself to believe this, Lord. So I'm just like, but that don't make any sense. Let me get into y'all comments. Can Tory's lawyers use this interview in court? Absolutely. Tory's, we're going to get into this part because there's going to be a part of the this little clip that we're showing or that we're listening to, and Tory's lawyers are going to state that they're, you know, excited to cross-examine her and talk to her in court, you know, because there's a lot of inconsistencies within her story. So I'm gonna put it to you like this. Hopefully Meg does get him prosecuted, because if Megan doesn't, Tory's going to sue her for everything she's got. Tory is definitely going to sue her because Tory has lost all type of revenue since all of this stuff has happened. So hopefully she is telling the truth, because if not, this could be a career ruiner for her. And I also think that that's another reason why she's been so public and why she's kept him so quiet. I mean, because people make it seem as if, you know, they're just letting him get away with any and everything. Well, I don't feel that when Tory just got arrested for adding her. So it sounds like the court systems and the lawyers and whatnot, they're taking it serious. Like, they're not playing with Tory. You know, having him arrested, $350,000 bail, not even being around her. It wasn't even nothing like that. You know, he done been removed from concerts and areas because she was there, you know, and stuff like that. That's why I say he's lost a lot, you know, since all of this has happened. So that would be a hell of a lawsuit. It absolutely is, especially if he's not found guilty. So if he's found innocent of these things, she can cut it. She can cut it. Because it's no different than how the city basically sued, the city of Illinois basically sued Jussie after all of these, you know, the false allegations, all the fines and whatnot. They're basically like the city suing him, you know, if you will, for all of the lying and wasting police hours and, you know, research efforts. And you just waste a lot of people's time. You absolutely did. The people at the hospital, they're just all types. So you just wasted a lot of people's time. So it could be the same thing with Megan, you know, but instead of it being the city, it's going to be Tory. Like, yeah, you done took me through a lot, you know. So that's what I said. Hopefully she is telling the truth, because if Tory comes out innocent, yeah, that is a hell of a lawsuit. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And it's going to be hard for her team to, whoever, you know, she's using against him, especially during the lawsuit. He has a lot that he can run with. A lot. Being silenced, being imprisoned, all type of thing. Like, he went to jail over this. And I'm not talking about the registered weapon. I'm talking about just talking about her, like, and atting her. And so that there's a lot. There's a lot that, you know, he can add in there. You know, I want her to pay my bail. It's a lot. I want her to pay my court fees for me going back and forth for all of this stuff. Like, and there's a lot that Tory can sue her for. So hopefully she is telling the truth. Paula Channel said, now we know they all together look at the pic with Tory and Pegasus, ooh, not Pegasus, and his arms in the air saying, all this is mine. Yeah, he no, his arms in the air. Oh, he's so little. So y'all just going to ignore that Kelsey had gun residue. No, we ain't ignoring that. We talked about Dwayne. We talked about that yesterday. This is part here. No, we talked about that yesterday. We very so much said that Kelsey had a whole that's why she pregnant. Kelsey, if you think that getting pregnant like Star Brim did, girl, to get out of the no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So Kelsey got pregnant doing this, so she's trying to be a mother so that they could be lenient on her when they find, girl, Kelsey, let me find out you got pregnant on purpose. Kelsey is trying to Star Brim this situation. Because yesterday, no, we talked about it. The attorney's bringing it up, Tory's attorney bringing it up, the fact that Kelsey had residue on her hands. Oh, no, we talked about that. Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did. We just talking about Megan and what Megan said. Dwayne, we can't go against what Megan said, Dwayne. Hold on, Dwayne. You got to finish listening to what Megan said. Two people said, oh, no, not another person, baby. I feel like, look, Kelsey, girl, you went got pregnant. Didn't nobody tell you to go get pregnant? Yes, she is pregnant. Kelsey is pregnant right now. What do you know? What do you know? She is whole pregnant. And congratulations, Kelsey. I hope you have a healthy baby. I hope, because I know it's going to be beautiful. So congratulations. And, I'm happy for her. But Kelsey, girl, I don't know. Everybody calling you to the carpet. Kelsey, I don't know. I don't know, girl. I don't know. You just have to look like you was. I don't know. I don't know. Was it an accident? I don't know. Is that why Megan really cut you off? I don't know, Kelsey. I don't know. Yes, heavily pregnant. Yes, she like big pregnant. Go check her out. Kelsey Nicole on IG. She's big pregnant. Yeah, she's big pregnant. Oh yes, she absolutely is. She's pregnant. So I don't know. And she did that song. What was her diss track called to Megan? Bussin' Back. I don't know. Yeah, she's big pregnant. She is big pregnant. Yes, Kelsey is about to probably pop in like the next 2 months or so. Yes, she is pregnant with Rihanna. I don't know why y'all just can't let Rihanna be pregnant by herself. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get back into the interview.
Quick, like, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before. And I looked down at my feet because I wasn't even, the adrenaline is pumping so hard. I'm not sure if he hit me. Like, I feel it, but I don't understand what's happening. So I look down at my feet and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really bleeding. So I like drop down and I crawl in somebody's driveway. Like, I can't believe you shot me.
And what is he saying, Tory Lanez saying?
What y'all think? He said, dance B over the car and pop powder. So she said after he pop powder her, she's, like basically like fell to the ground, which makes sense. And she like crawled into somebody's driveway, and she says she can't believe, that he just did that to her. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh Lord, y'all talking about some great performance so far. Ivy, be nice. Big Daddy Conrad said, man, her feet were shot. She dropped to the ground like in a second. Not an assailant. Be nice. Sarah said, I would never act like this if I had a feature with Beyonce. Beyonce, me neither. Beyonce, you wouldn't have to worry about all this drama. I would have just told the truth right away, Beyonce. You wouldn't have to worry about Beyonce. Chardondrea? Am I saying that right? Not shot something important, girl. Your whole damn body is important. I agree. Like, yeah, that's what I would think. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, what is going on here? Tori says, sis, you called where? Didn't the police have y'all in the street? Well, see, after, because she's about to explain, after she got pow-powed, she got back in the car with them. And then the police pulled them over, which I was confused because she said that after she got pow-powed, she said somebody had already called the police. So she said the police and stuff was already surrounding them with helicopters and all of this stuff. I'm like, well, on TMZ, it happens in the middle of the street. Y'all got pulled over. So I don't know if she was just saying like the cops are already like coming, like she could hear the sirens and whatnot. Because I think that's what she meant, honestly. Because, I'm trying not to pick a story apart, but I think that's what she's saying. Like somebody had already called the police and she probably heard the sirens and heard a helicopter, and stuff like that. So, because they got pulled over after that. So obviously, and that's on camera. So that's why I'm saying I know that as a fact because it's on camera of them getting pulled over, her and the bloody feet, what they call it. So yeah, that's on camera. So her crawling, I just don't understand. If you were so afraid, like why would you get back in the car with him? Especially if you already hear the police coming. I'm just okay. Well, the police are coming. I understand you not feeling safe while there. I get that, like probably where you are. And if he's forcefully telling you to get back in the car, I can understand that. But you willingly got back in the car. Like, what? I don't know. But I'm about to get back into y'all comments. Not stupid. Be nice. When a woman hubs, but Thunderclaw said, did he make her get back in the car? That's the only way it makes sense. No, he did not force her to get back into the car. She got into the car willingly. So I don't know. I don't know. Supreme Pony said he guilty. We saw the text. Did you? Did you though? Because that was an edit of a text that the Good Morning America put on there. The actual texts were blurred. Yeah. The actual texts were blurred. So we don't know really what. So did we? I don't know. That was an edit that the Good Morning America used when it said help. He's Tory shot MEG. That was an edit of Good Morning America. So that wasn't the actual text message. So that's just what's being said. That's what we're being told by Megan. That's what she told, Good Morning America. Okay. So it wasn't the actual text itself. But yeah, so we didn't actually see it. Go get in the corner. No. The first 48 would have figured this out. Yeah, probably. They with her hands up. What do you mean? What has EJ said? Who is EJ Johnson? You're talking about him? Can anyone say they 100% saw? No. Tory pow her because the drunk testimony is not really accurate. And I agree. And it's not see, here's the thing about the testimony. it isn't a drunk testimony because Megan never gave a statement to anybody, especially the police, until she was sober. So it's a sober mind remembering a drunken night is what it is. So if they would have talked to her and actually got her statement that night, I think that her being intoxicated, she would have spilled the tea. Like she would have, actually said what happened if she was willing to tell the truth. But she wasn't willing to do that. Like she wasn't willing to tell the truth. So I think that she would have been better off. That's why I said from jump, she should have just told the truth. So even with her being drunk, it still would have been a lot of the same characteristics that she wouldn't have been able to change because we would have had a statement. But with her having time to process it and think about it and all of this stuff, now she gets to doctor up and kind of not necessarily doctor up, but create her own vision of what happened instead of authentically giving what happened the night of, So yeah, I don't know. It just. But no, I agree. I agree. I want to hear from the bodyguard. I think a lot of people do. Well, we want. I mean, it seems like every time we hear from somebody, we're still left with more questions. So it's just like that's the thing. But let's get back into this interview.
He's apologizing. He's, I'm so sorry. Please don't tell nobody. I'll give y'all $1 million if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you offering me money right now? Help me. Like, and if you sorry, just help me. Like,
But at that moment,
we didn't even make it to the house. Like somebody had already called the police and it was like so many of them. It was helicopters. I was like, oh my God, we all about to die. Like,
Oh, poor thing. She probably was scared and freaking out. I would be freaking out too. Like if all of this is going on and then you got the helicopters on, it's just like, oh my God, what's going on? Like I would be freaking out too. So I get what she means. Like, I mean, but the whole we all about to be slain. Megan, I'm gonna need you to chill out. Megan, I'm gonna need you to chill out. Megan, I'm gonna need you to chill out. Megan, you've dealt with the police before. Remember when you beat up your ex-boyfriend? Remember when you beat up your ex-boyfriend and the police came and they arrested you? And all of that, they took you to the precinct. You got booked. You got bailed out. Your mugshot was a mess. Girl, it must have been real hot that day. But remember when you beat him up? You're familiar with the police. So, yeah, she did. She beat up her boyfriend. She has a mugshot. Yeah, for beating up her boyfriend. Yeah, at the time. I don't know. I think she had found bumped into a female where they were. I don't know if it was like a fair or something like that. And this girl was pregnant by him. So Megan beat him up. I mean, it is what it is. Somebody came and told her, like, look, she is pregnant by your man. You know the dude you go with? That's his baby mama. Yeah, she pregnant right now. That baby. Yeah, belongs to her. To him. He did that. And then she was like, nay. And then, yeah, she trampled him. So the police came and they very so much arrested her. And she was taken to jail for punching and pinching and biting on that boy. She absolutely was. She had all type of hoof marks on that boy back and all of that stuff. She beat him down, like ripped his shirt, all of that stuff. And she had fought him I believe she was twice that day. She had fought him. So no, that's why I said I'm not knocking her. I'm not knocking her. I mean, hey, she whole pregnant by you, we together. So I don't encourage violence, or anything like that, but it's understandable hearing it. It's like I go, okay. I could see that. You got a whole nother female pregnant. Like we're walking past a baby that's about to be born. That if anybody's supposed to be pregnant, it's supposed to be me. Like, how is she pregnant? This means that you can't deny you sleeping with her because she's pregnant. So it's just like, yeah. Not only did I not know about her, she's pregnant. So I could see that. You know, I'm not excusing it, but I'm just saying, like, I can see it. You know, when girls get mad, sometimes they So yeah. So she was upset on y'all, and she was stumping and jumping all on that man, trample him, gays. That's why they do not let horses back at that Fenimo. No, the last one trampled a man. So yeah, so that was her. Mm-hmm. And he had horseshoe marks all on his shorts and shirt and all of that stuff. She wasn't playing. She did damage. She did damage. Do you hear me? So she's familiar with the police, is what I'm trying to say. So her acting as if she's so petrified by the police, girl. Well, most black people don't like the police. Well, we just don't have a good relationship, I would say, with the police. So it's like, I get that. Okay, I get that. I do. But when certain things happen, black people are happy to see police. They absolutely are. So say like within this situation, to where you were just pop out in the street. If you are afraid of an individual, wouldn't that be the greatest time for the police to show up? You are a victim. Your feet are bleeding, all of that. I highly doubt the police are going to come there and George Floyd the situation. Okay? George Floyd was injured during his arrest. Cut it out. You're already injured. Okay? George Floyd wasn't injured and the police were called because he was injured. And they got there and that's what happened to him. So you can never really trust police. I'm like, yeah, girl, no. And then she uses the George Floyd. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you already low-key turned your back on the whole Protect Black Women campaign. You did a whole commercial for an article and went and they ain't heard from you since, sis. That's weird. Because then the narrative was fitting to you. You want to award shows using the whole Black Lives Matter and Protect a Black Woman, Breonna Taylor, all of this stuff. And just, that was it. We ain't really heard from you since. I've been waiting because I thought it was a great thing. I'm like, no, she keeps doing this. Is even if she is doing this to fit the narrative that she's going through right now because she feels trolled and bullied, even other celebrities getting in on the mix, jumping down her throat, saying that they don't believe her. I agree. If she wants to do this, that is fine. Because if she, like I said, her being pop out, she is a victim. Like she is. Like people can't take that from her. Even if she didn't tell the truth in the beginning, I get it. Like I said, you can't really tell a victim when to come forward and whatever their trauma is. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't always have to be a certain thing, for them. No, like she has the right to come forward when she wants to, but you cannot expect at that time when you have the opportunity to tell the truth, especially about something like that, because it's not minor compared to, well, it kind of is compared to other things where people actually go through like being, sexual abuse and things like that. That's you really can't put a time frame on something like that. But being pow, this is, you should have took the first opportunity to tell the truth. You should have took it and just stuck with it and just dealt with this in court and just left it, let the cards fall where they fall. But to keep publicizing this and whatnot, Meg, it just doesn't make sense. And to make it seem that you're so afraid of the police and they're going to hurt us and they're going to harm us. You're already hurt. I'm like, girl, you already hurt. Like you were pow. Like what else could they do? If anything, they should be a symbol of like help, right now. I mean, that's why I say, why get back in the car? If you already hear, the police coming and whatnot. I mean, I would have just laid there. Honestly, I would have just stayed right there. I mean, the people already done saw us and already called the police, all of that. But we hopping in the car for like we like committing crimes, like we just robbed somebody. Or something. What we all hopping in the car for like this, set it off. Like we just hit a bank. Like, yeah, no, I got pop out. I ain't moving. I ain't moving. If you're gonna end me, it's gonna be right here. The police are already on there. What's the point? I'm not moving. I would have stayed right there. I'm not getting back in the car with you. And you just did that to me. Like, no, you got me twisted. Like, yeah, I'm not getting back in the car with you. Especially if I already got out the car. I got out the car for a reason. I already didn't want to be around you at all whatsoever. This is giving me even more reason not to get back in the car with you. So that's what I said. I didn't get that part. I didn't understand why you got back in the car. I would not have gotten back in the car, but that's me. You know, I don't care at that point in time. It's a piece in the car. How do you know all of this stuff, girl? I mean, does some of these things belong to you? Oh, they don't belong to you. Then who cares what's in the car? Who cares? And then she brings up that weapon. I'm like, why would you bring up that weapon? Because it's not the weapon that powed you. So was that yours? Because it was unregistered. So it could have truly belonged to anyone. Anyone. So it was unregistered. So we don't know whose the weapon was. It could have been Meg's. We don't know. We have no idea who that belonged to. Tory took accountability for it. And I feel like Tory did that because, one, he didn't want his security guard to get in trouble because he knew it was going to fall onto him. And two, he could have done it like as a favor. I don't know. Like, did he do it as a favor to Meg? Like, to be like, you know, whether he pop-out her or not. You know, he did in that album that he did before she got pulled. It did seem like he had very strong feelings for her. So I don't know. That's why I said it's a mess. But let me get into y'all comments before we get into the rest of this video. Did you see the part yet where she denied being intimate? No, we have not gotten there yet. We about to, though. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. Tory would have been under the jail, him and Shorty. Yeah. I like I said, I still don't know. Jim says she's still lying. I cannot. She said it was a hot gun. She did say that. She did. How you know it's hot? Whose was it? Like, was it really his? Like, because why do you even, who cares what was in the car? I mean, y'all was already like caught because y'all still got pulled over with it anyway. That's why I say you should just stay where you were. I would have just stayed on the ground. I believe Rock Nation is trying to cash in now before the trial in September because they know she's done after the trial. LOL, shaking my head. That's why I said if she, hopefully she could, that's what I'm saying, in her defense, hopefully she can get Tory charged because in Tory's defense, he has a lot of reasons into why he shouldn't be. Here's all I'm saying. Like, I would say that, like, Beautiful Kimmy says so many loopholes. I agree. Tory Papa Meg via Kelsey's text messages. Where are the text messages? Because what they show on screen, the messages behind it is blurred. And the message that they've shown is an edit that they did that themselves. Like, that's not the literal actual text message. Like, it isn't. They're just telling you what this alleged text message says. The message is alleged. We have not seen it. Like, where is it? I'm like, where is this text message everybody keep talking about? Y'all know me. I'm for the tea. Like, I want to see it. You know, I don't care to hear about it. Like, no, show me it. Like, because if you look on the Good Morning, on the interview, the text message behind the edited text that they show, it says help, and then that Tory shot Meg. That is an edit of Good Morning America. So they put those texts there. Like, that is not real. It's not real. It absolutely isn't. Sean, you need to interview Tory when all this is over. I wish. I definitely will. That would be amazing. The evidence is in court. No, it is not. I looked at the transcripts that have been submitted because they have not went to trial yet. So a lot of stuff is not even shown that has been submitted. They have not went to trial. This is not over. Trial starts in September. So there is no evidence of this alleged text message. We don't know. Now, it could be something that Meg's team has and has submitted into court. If so, we haven't seen it. So that's what I'm saying. We haven't seen this. I'm like, where is it? I thought like maybe a blog or something put it up or something. I'm like, is it floating around somewhere? I don't know, because I haven't seen it. I've heard of it, and I heard of it on Good Morning America with Megan. Well, not necessarily Megan, the Good Morning America team saying that is there because Megan didn't say like, oh, well, I have a text from ... She didn't say anything like that. She didn't say anything of the other. So that's what I said. The trial hasn't even happened. It starts in September. So a lot of evidence that's submitted and whatnot, we have no idea of. We have no idea. So we'll see. That's what I said. We'll see. Like, if there's somebody in the neighborhood that has surveillance of something that happened, we probably haven't seen it yet because of, you know, they're probably saving it for trial. You know, instead of them having it leaked and out and then people trying to doctor it and make it look like something else to keep it their evidence original and to keep it what it actually is, they just keep it and wait until trial. and turning in at trial. You know, so yeah, that's what we don't know what Tory's team has, and we don't know what Meg's team has. Meg's team's giving us little clues, you know, into what they have, but we don't know yet. We have no idea. They have to go to court first. So yeah. A trial is in September, yes. So let's get into this interview again, y'all.
The George Floyd incident had just happened. The police are definitely very much shoot first, ask questions after. So I'm like, it's a hot gun in the car. I'm bleeding. I've been shot. They about to kill somebody. Like something bad is about to happen.
So somebody hears the gunshots. They call the police. The police come, and they say what to you?
They tell everybody to get out of the car.
TMZ obtained video from that night.
And then you can see the footage of me in the swimsuit, limping backwards, feet bleeding.
And they say to you, what happened here?
I don't remember everything they said to me, but I remember them asking me what's happening, what happened to you. And I didn't want them to kill any of us or shoot any of us. So I just said, I stepped on glass.
Megan. I don't know, Megan. Megan, I don't know. I don't know, Megan. Girl, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. You didn't know Tory longer than you've known Kelsey. Okay. You've known Kelsey longer. Okay. George Floyd was very so much a man. Okay. Breonna Taylor was very so much a woman during a raid. Okay. Not a traffic stop. Okay. During a raid. Were you guys being raided? No. So what would make you think that the police is literally about to end y'all? Especially if you're being compliant with the police. It doesn't matter what you have, you'll be fine as long as you listen, you know, usually. And then you have some people that don't necessarily listen and police feel the need to take force. You know, I get it. The George Floyd situation was completely unnecessary. There was no reason for it. I get it. And I get it that it scares a lot of people. I get it. I understand that the Breonna Taylor situation and so many others. I get that it's scary. I do. It is a scary thought and it could happen to anyone. It could. But at the same time, Meg, you were injured. So you are the victim within this situation. Nobody spoke of what happened that night besides you. You were the only one that came forward and said anything about what happened. And you wanted the public to know that it actually wasn't glass. After you did report that yourself, you reported that you stepped on glass. Meg, okay? You lied. Nobody told you to lie. No one. You said that after Tory allegedly powwowed you, that he offered you $1 million not to say anything. So were you accepting the $1 million? I doubt it. I mean, because why would you feel the need to say that it was glass? Did you want the $1 million? Because what other reason did you have to lie? Because, I mean, is that what you're going to say? Like, oh, he told me not to say anything. I don't want to say anything. But you said that he offered you $1 million. So did you accept the deal? And then did you realize that you can make more money? So you didn't want the $1 million anymore? You're just like, you know what? I'm about to go forward and tell the truth. Because I can make way more money with you. I mean, I don't get it. Because what reason would, honestly, she said she told the police that it was glass. Who told you to tell the police that? Nobody, buddy. Nobody, buddy. You wanted to say that on your own. Why? What was your motive for not just telling the truth? You decided to lie. You didn't have to lie. You could have just told the truth. I mean, y'all already in enough trouble. I mean, it's just like, just tell the truth. You chose not to. Cool. You lie and say it was glass. All right. So as a liar now, when you come forward and tell the truth, even as a victim, you still lied. So that lessens your credibility. You don't get to come forward and just be like, look, it was glass, we're good, blah, 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 let's move on. Cool. Then we move on. Then you decide to be like, you know what? I actually got shot. What do you think about that? Huh? And I'm definitely telling the truth now. So now believe everything that I'm about to say. No, Meg, you don't have that right. You don't get to do that. People get to side-eye you. Because if you would have came forward from jump and said that that's what happened to you, nobody should question her. I don't care what happens after that. She said that night that that's what happened to her. Tory ought to be ashamed of himself, or whatever, however it happened. Both of them ought to be ashamed of themselves. Oh, well, that girl still got pop out. She shouldn't have got pop out. Oh, well, I ain't trying to hear nothing. That's how people would have been. So like I said yesterday, she didn't give people a chance to protect her, especially as a Black woman. She didn't give people the opportunity, because that's nothing to joke about. Tory power her. Ain't nothing cute about that. No, he need to go to jail and he need to be canceled. And, you know, all of that, we need to protect Megan. That is what we need to do. But she didn't give us the opportunity to do so. She came forward lying and then had an attitude when everybody didn't believe the new truth that she was deciding to come out with. Like, no, it don't work like that. It doesn't. You're going to have to take these little punches because you did lie. You can't come out as a truth teller and mad that people aren't looking at you as a truth teller when you started off lying. It don't work like that. It don't. You don't just get to just change stories and then people just run with it. And you look at it as like, I'm excused because I was scared. No, you're a grown woman. You're an adult. I understand you being scared while you were with Tory, but you were pretty much removed from him immediately. At that hospital, you had no reason to not tell the truth. I get you lying on scene to the police. But when you got back to that hospital, when you knew you were safe, you were removed from Tory. You got security around you now. You have police around you now. Tell the truth. That's when you should have told the truth. Then I would have been like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, she probably was scared. Maybe she didn't want to say anything on scene. Maybe it was a lot going on. All these sirens and, you know, it's a weapon in the car and all of this stuff. Yeah, she probably was scared. But when she got back to that hospital, yeah, there was no reason for you not to tell the truth. That's how I look at it. When you got back there, you knew you were safe. Tory could do nothing to you. He wasn't near you. Girl, he was not near you. He was in jail. And if you would have told the truth, they would have kept him. Like, let's keep it real. Like, you started off lying. So now that you're telling the truth, you don't get to look like you told the truth from jump. No, you didn't. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. So since you didn't do that and people question you now, you can't be mad at that. And she is. It's like she has an attitude that people doesn't believe her. That's why it doesn't pay to lie. It pays more to just tell the truth. Especially if you're going to publicize it, you might as well publicize the truth. Because remember, nobody knew she got pow-powed until she put that message up on Instagram and said that I was actually a victim of. We would have never known. Tory didn't say nothing. Kelsey didn't say nothing. The bodyguard didn't say nothing. It was their story. It was their story. Besides the witness account of seeing a muzzle flash, we would have never known. That probably would have came up later, like a muzzle flash. Like, what? That was a muzzle. What happened? So yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like she's requesting a lot to have people just be like, look, I know I lied, but believe me. That's why I said I wish Megan would have just told the truth from the jump. Let's get back to this interview.
Because I didn't.
Why did you say that? Why didn't you say he shot me?
I didn't. For some reason, I was just trying to protect all of us because I didn't want them to kill us. Like, even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. Like, I didn't want to see anybody die. So I just said, I stepped on glass. So when I see people trying to use that against me, like trying to act like I'm lying, oh, she stepped on glass, she never got shot. I'm the one who said I stepped on glass. I was lying to protect all of us. And sometimes I wish I really would have never said that.
You wish you would have just told the truth.
I wish I would have told the truth, but
How you mad when you the one, like she said, I'm the one that started that. You did start it. So what, like she said, when people are mad at you, when people come at you like, how you saying that you got pop when you said you stepped on glass, like, I'm the one that started. You did start that because you lied. So take accountability for that. Be like, yeah, I did lie. Instead, she wants to doctor it up. I didn't tell the truth. But no, there's no but. Just own it. Just because when you own it, you get to heal from it and move on from it because you care about. She cares way too much about what people think. Way too much about what people think. That's all I'm saying, Meg. Like, I don't know. You maybe take a real break, from social media because you care way too much about what people think. Because once you take accountability for something, that means that you're at peace with it. So you don't care what anybody else has to say. I mean, you say what you want to say. Oh, well, it is what it is. Oh, well, I don't care. I dealt with it. It is what it is. I'm done. And you just move on. She can't move on because she won't take accountability. You won't take responsibility in what you did, which was not protecting yourself. The only way you can protect someone is no different than a child. If something is happening to a child, especially by an adult, if the parent does not see telltale signs immediately, or the child does not say anything to them, it does not make it that parent's fault. It's like, how do you know? You can't just assume something. You have to tell us so we can do something about it. So it's the same thing with Megan. How can people protect you if we don't know you need protection? You said it was glass. Why would we feel like we need to protect a Black woman from glass? Stepping on glass. Why would we feel like we need to do that? We don't. It just sounds like an unfortunate accident. She'll be all right. Heal up. It is what it is. We move on. But then she comes forward and says that, no, I actually got pow. She even says herself, I wish I would have just said it from the beginning. Yeah, that would have been very helpful. Very helpful, because then nobody could shame her, come for her, nothing. I would understand people being diehard, like, she said what she said, I stand by her. Because y'all stood by her when she said it was glass. So then when she changed and you want to stand by her as if you have the same beliefs. No, that just means you're easily manipulated. And you just want to, you feel for victims of anything. So you just want to run behind it because it makes you feel better. Okay, that's you. But looking at the situation in its entirety, she should have just told the truth. I mean, it is what it is. It absolutely is. So let's get into some of y'all comments. XXSS says, because a lot of Black women protect Black males even when they hurt them. It happens all the time. This is not new, y'all. It's called mammy mentality. Lord. Stop acting like Black women don't lie to protect their abusers. I don't feel like it's a situation of somebody lying to protect their abuser. I really don't feel that way. Because she said when most Black women especially do things like this, it's with men that they are with. Okay? They're protecting somebody that they're in love with, usually. Not just some random. A Black woman that called the police on a random for smacking her before she called the police on a Black man that she's been with for years. Absolutely. It's a little different. So I don't feel like we can compare every situation to what one Black woman does or two might have done to where they all do it. Like, no. Some Black women call Black men out on their ish all the time. All the time. Like, they call them out on whatever that they're doing, and some don't, you know, but that's in any race, any nationality. You protect your own. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you know, it's just is what it is. But I don't feel like she was protecting a person that was harming her. I just feel like she said she didn't want anybody to get hurt. We got to stop acting like just them two got pulled over. Like, no, it was 4 people, you know, that was there. She said she didn't want anyone to get hurt. So she was trying to protect everyone and whatnot. And she removed herself from him immediately, you know, after that incident. So, like, that's another thing. Like, none of this adds up. If she said that she was with him, especially intimately, I could see her trying to protect him. Like, I don't want anything bad to happen to him. I don't. At this point in time, was she protecting herself or was she protecting Tory? Got to think about that, because there was a narrative being pushed around about Meg, that Meg was sleeping with Tory at the same time as Kelsey. And that's what everybody was talking about. Like, Tory was looking like a player from the Himalayas. He had one party, got Meg pressed about Kylie. Whole time he smashing her best friend and he smashing her too. So it was this big story going around about Meg at the time. So we can't make it seem like, you know, because while we thought it was glass, that story was becoming more viral and more viral and more viral. Everybody re-looking at that video between her and Kylie by the pool and all of, they were blowing that story up and making it seem as if she was jealous. And that's why the argument started, you know, and all of that, because she was jealous of Kylie and Tory's, you know, flirting with one another, allegedly in front of her, or Tory flirting with Kylie in front of her type of situation. So that story was being big and blown up, you know, and all of this stuff. So then here she comes with this happened. And then that became the story of the year, you know, so that blew that, what happened between allegedly Kelsey and Meg and Tory, that blew that story out of the water once the pow came up. And I feel like Meg and her team knew that that would stir up a whole new conversation. And it did. I mean, it absolutely did. And why I say that is because Meg didn't come out pressing charges on him. She didn't come out filing a police report. She was doing all of this on the internet, all of this on social media, IG, and other places. You know, it's not like she wouldn't file the report and then she came forward and said something. No, social media is the reason she filed the report, because they're just like, no, if he did this to you, he need to go down. He need to go to jail. Like, no, he ain't about to just get away with that, homie. So that's what it was. So that's why I said, was she protecting herself or was she trying to protect him? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Monisha said, I still don't believe it when TMZ had the video where she got out of the car on her 2 feet with her hands in the air when the police came. I mean, she could stand. I'm sure it was just hard for her to, like, especially with the front of her feet. Like, she could use the front of her feet, but because it happened to the back, you know, of her feet. So I'm sure what, and she's probably in a lot of pain. So I'm sure it was hard for her to stand, but she could still stand, you know, just not. I mean, that would be hard to stand up, especially when you rest with using your heel, you know, when you're in a resting stance. So it would be hard, but she could do it. But if you see, she was kind of like, you know, tippy toeing, you know, she wasn't like, yeah. So no, but I get what you mean though. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super sticker. Joy said, because if she really wants to protect him, why is she trying so hard to put him in jail? Remember the Twitter post and Megan got her arrested over it. So him arrested over it. So that's what I'm saying too. I just don't feel like she's trying to protect him. Like, what? I don't see that either. You know, for the simple fact is, why is she trying so hard to take him down? You know, you don't go from protect. And then that's the thing. Tory was not saying anything publicly, especially. He was not saying anything. So when she came out and tried to make it basically like this war against her and Tory, it didn't make sense, because it's like she's responding, but people are like, well, what is she responding to? Because Tory's not saying anything. Like, he hasn't said nothing. You know, so it's like, what are you responding to? So people were confused. It's like that's why I say it was like she was having an argument with herself. You know, because it's like, well, who are you talking to? because Tory has said, so I'm looking in the blogs like, well, what did Tory say? Because when she came in and said like, you know, you dry shot me, blah blah blah, you know, and all of that in that live, I was just like, oh, okay, well, because at the beginning of the live, she was just like, since, you know, basically subbing Tory, like, since your team want to put stuff out there and push narratives, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, what is she talking about? I was so confused. So after watching the live with her and Tory, or when her talking about Tory, that's when people started to demand that she get a police report done on Tory. Like, well, he needs to go to jail if you're saying that he did this. And she didn't file right away. So that's another thing. That's what, like, I'm like, none of this. What? Like, I don't know. And some people say that she believes that he loved her or she loved him. I don't know. I don't think it got that far. I don't think it got that far. Natasha says, so allegedly she went to the party with someone totally different. So with the argument that she claims is about leaving a party, why she didn't leave with who she came with? Why go with Tory? Because it was a setup. It was a setup. It was a drop me off because I'm leaving with him. Mm-hmm. In Kelsey face, though. Like, that's why I said Megan's pretty bold. I see why the argument got so big, you know, between this blow up between Kelsey and Megan, because it's like in my face, like in my faces, in my face. So, from what it sounds like, Tory didn't say ish when it first went down. No, I agree. It was Megan who kept talking every live. Her handlers told her, not her handlers, what to say. LOL, shook my head. No, that's true. That is very so much true. Black Beauty says, Sean, pull up her pictures at the party with Future a week after she got pound. Her on her boat barefoot twerking with her friends 10 days after the no therapies, no crushes, no nothing. Okay, well, they said that it didn't hit any. See, look, Megan said it didn't hit anything serious, and it hit no bones, no tendons, no none of that. No, none of that. So she said that her granny and her mama and her daddy was looking out for her. That's what she said. She said her granny, her daddy, and her mama was looking out for her. So that's how she was able to twerk within 10 days because it didn't hit nothing serious. It didn't hit nothing serious. So all they have to do is do the little surgery and get her hooves back together. And Megan was back out there like, you know, it is what it is. So it didn't hit nothing major. It didn't hit nothing major. So she didn't need the same amount of therapy and stuff that other people need. So she didn't need crutches or none of that stuff. And she also has hind legs. Y'all didn't even think about that. Y'all didn't think about that. She also has hind legs. So that's also how she was able to, you know, recover quickly. So y'all got to think about that type of stuff. Y'all got to think about that type of stuff. She has hind legs, and veterinarians have different type of medicines. So yeah, y'all got to think about that type of stuff. Y'all really got to think about that. I mean, she has. Why would you need crutches when you have hind legs? Oh my god. Shout out to Megan the Pegasus. If I stepped on glass, I could party a week later if I twerk barefoot. But see, Black Beauty, look, you trying it. You trying it. You ain't saying nothing about hind legs. You ain't saying nothing about hind legs. Yeah, look, y'all, Megan didn't get hit in nowhere serious, right? So it was easier for her to just bounce back. It was a little easy. Y'all trying it. Monisha said, must well have been a baby, but no, because I believe your foot bones is broke. I'm not going for it. My aunt been pop out in her foot. I know. So, but that's the thing. Was it a pow in your auntie foot, or was it shrapnels? It was shrapnels, which are basically like bullet splinters. So it's like splinters, but metal. So that's what it was, shrapple. Shout out to Bridgerton for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. But it was shrapple, girl. So if your auntie got pow, like full on pow, that's a little different, you know. But Megan didn't get full on pow. That didn't happen. No, that did not happen. That did not happen. Human feet are more fragile than hoof. Natash, be nice. Be nice. Yeah, Shrapper, Jasmine, girl. It was, is it Shrapper? No, what was, am I saying it wrong, girl? So? Uso? Did I not say it right? Jasmine, it was Shrapper. Shrapper, no. Is that how you say it? Shrapper, no? Girl. Because I really need to know if you was just trying to, like, were you just trying to check me? Because Jasmine, I don't have to be here. Jasmine, I don't have to be here. Elise says, I know someone who accidentally pow-powed himself in the foot and he literally had a boot on for months. But see, that's the thing. Like, if you actually like pow yourself, then like full on, that's completely different. Like the impact, all of that. Hi, Trees. It's the impact, all of that. So it's different. It's different if it's like full on. She wasn't full on. So, you know, Dwayne said, I'm so glad that not all Black women believe this nonsense. I was going crazy thinking I was in the Twilight Zone. This chat changed my mind. You very judgmental on Black women. Why are you so judgmental? Nah. I'm glad you found some like-minded people too, but you keep putting Black in everything you say. Let us find out. You a little rough on the crowd. I'm like, look at him. he Black this, Black that, Black this, Black that. But okay, we got an eye on you. We got an eye on you now. But no, not everybody. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to believe. I have no idea what to believe. I don't know what to believe anymore. It's just so many stories. It's just too many stories. Brad's preference said Megan had no boot and it was back gallop within 10 days. So, like I said, y'all gotta stop with the boot because first of all, horses do not wear boots. Like, cut it out. She would have had on one of them braces like Forrest Gump did. They put them on the horses. It's these long braces. So she would have had a brace. Y'all tried it. So, but she didn't get pow all the way in the foot, y'all. So it wasn't like full on impact, like boom, you know, like that's completely different. You know, like that's different. It was, you know, like a ricochet from the explosion of the bullet hitting the gravel or whatever near her to make the bullet explode. So fragments of the bullet went into the back of her feet, back of her, into her ankle, Achilles, you know, area, y'all. That's what happened, y'all. So that's going to be a different healing process from actually getting powed. Okay. So I'm with Megan on that because the healing processes are different. Like that, her healing process will be faster than somebody that gets full on pow, you know, in the foot, you know. So especially in both her ankles. Now she literally got pow, 2 of them in the back of her ankle. Oh yeah, she was gonna be out for a while, but that was not the situation. So let's listen to this interview.
If it saved all of us from dying, then that's just probably what it was meant to be.
So when you told the police you stepped on glass, did they believe you?
I don't know.
So how did you go from the glass? Did you go to the hospital?
So they took me straight to the hospital, and the police questioned me, and I said it was just glass.
You still stuck with that
story? I stuck with it. It was glass. And right as the officers were like, okay, we done with this, we leaving, the doctor came in and he was like, you know, you got bullets in both of your feet. Like, you got fragments in this foot, and it's like right on the back of your Achilles. And I'm like,
there is a medical report that says that there were that you had been shot, and the medical report also says that to this day you still have
bullet
fragments
in my feet.
And there are still many people, as we sit here today, Megan, that don't even believe you were shot.
There is a hot gun in the car.
Yeah.
What else? What happened?
In Texas.
She said it was a hot gun in the car. But she wasn't saying like the gun in the car that's not that powder though. So that's the confusing part. I'm like, well, I'm still confused because that's not what you got powder by. So what are you just saying like that gun was unregistered, it's hot? Like, but whose hot weapon is that? Like, does that belong to you? Does it belong to Tory? Does it belong to who does it belong to? Tory took the rap for it, but it's it could have been belonged to anyone, so why are you bringing that up? Like, why does any of that matter? And then she said that she didn't want anybody to get hurt. She did tell the police that it was fragments, but that it was glass. But then when the doctors did the surgery to go see, to remove the glass, they found out that it's like, no, this is actually shrapnels from bullets. Like, this is shrapnels from bullets. Like, girl, you tried it. That is not glass. Like, how did this get into your feet? How did this happen? Okay. You were powed, is what happened, right? So this was her opportunity to tell the truth. Okay. Instead of Megan telling the truth, because remember, at this point, because this was, I believe or did they do it? I don't know. I think they tried to get her in like emergency surgery, but it didn't happen like literally as soon as she got to the hospital. It happened sometime later. So the next morning, where all of this footage and stuff is going around about Megan and them, and the bloody feet, TMZ, they post the video that they captured that they have, and whatnot of Megan them getting pulled over, all of that. So, because remember, everybody thinks it's glass. Nobody says anything about, her being pop out. So she goes on Instagram and lets Instagram and everybody know that she was actually powed, right? But she doesn't tell the police that. She doesn't make a police report. She doesn't do any of those things. She doesn't. She just goes on IG and said that she was actually powed. And I feel like that was her protecting herself because she knew that other people will find out, like TMZ. She know TMZ is nosy. So she know TMZ, they be violating HIPAA to get the information. So TMZ, very nosy. Ho, ho, ho. So they were going to get the tea. Somebody's going to get this tea. So instead, I need to go forward and say it myself, that I was powed. But when she did not name any suspects or name. So we didn't know if it was by accident, if she did it, or somebody else did it. Like, we didn't know until she verified within, that IG post that it was somebody with the intent to harm me. I was just like, oh, now this is interesting. So that means that somebody did this to her. Okay, well, who did it? Like, nobody knew. So we didn't know if it was Tory. We didn't know if it was Kelsey. That's why all of this stuff started to go around. Like, well, who did it? The who shot you? Like, no pun intended. Like, who did it? So when that happened, Megan comes for weeks later, like week and a half, almost 2 weeks later, something like that, and does this IG live of her basically being upset in the live, coming at Tory and cussing Tory out, saying that he did it. Still, she hadn't reported it. She has not reported it. That there's no report. Like, so you even said from your hospital bed, from the bed from where she had just got getting done with surgery, she puts this post out about that she was powed. Still didn't tell the police. Still didn't make a report. None of that. Why? That it's just too much. It is too much. It's too much. It's too much. Even if the right a drop charges so many lies, even if the charges get dropped or a mistrial or anything like that, Tory can still sue her. He absolutely can. So she the pretty much the only way that Tory couldn't is if she won and he goes to jail or whatnot. That would be the only way. That would be the only way. That would be the only way. She's still trying to protect him, but protect him for what? Like, they weren't together. She said they weren't intimate with each other. They were just friends, and they weren't friends as nearly as long as her and Kelsey were. So her and Kelsey's bond is completely stronger than her and Tory's. So there was, I mean, what reason, what did she truly have to protect him if she's saying herself that they weren't dating? I could see if they were dating, and she was no different than Rihanna when certain things happened. When that happened between her and Rihanna was still, or Chris Brown and Rihanna, she was still protecting Chris. Like, they were in a relationship. So, I mean, it makes sense. She loved him. So, she went to court with Chris, like when Chris was going to court for all those charges against her. And I know she was right there in court with his mom and her best friend, all three of them sitting in court like, is still my man, you know? So, I mean, I get it that a lot of Black women protect, you know, the men that do things to them, but there's usually more to it. Like, Megan has not claimed Tory. She said that there was nothing intimate between her and Tory, that they were just friends. How is this friendship of somebody that you're just meeting and talking to stronger than the bond that you have with Kelsey? Like, this is your actual friend. Tory's not your friend, especially if y'all smashing. That's an excuse to say that we're friends, we kick it. Okay, well, I have plenty of friends that I just kick it with. We don't accidentally get sexual. We don't get drunk and get sexual. We don't do none of that. We get drunk and fall asleep because we're friends. And that's what friends do. So I'm just like, yeah, no. With you sleeping with Tory, it was beyond that. You don't have to say you were dating, but you could at least admit it that, yeah, we were intimate, or just don't discuss it because you don't have to. But don't lie, because that is a blatant lie. I don't care what Megan says. I believe that her and Tory were messing around. I do believe that they were sexual. You could see the chemistry in their pictures, you know, and all of the stuff that they took with one another when they would go live together, you know, and all of that. They were feeling each other. Like, you could clearly see it. Like, we're not just going to avoid those things. No, look right at it. They clearly were seeing one another. She says that they're not. So what do you want me to believe? Do you want me to believe her or what you think? Like, not you, Nicole. I'm just saying in general. It's like, do you want me to? I mean, I'm believing her. This is what she's saying, so I'm a believer. She said there was nothing intimate, nothing between her and that is clearly a lie. She can't convince me. No lie detector. She could pass a lie detector test on, and I'm still gonna think she's lying. I'm still going to feel that way. There's way too much evidence out there. Kelsey's agreed that you were sleeping with him, even in the song Bustin' Back. You agreed to the fact that you slept with him, and Tory did a whole album about sleeping with you. So yeah. I feel like, Megan, you did not have to. You did not have to do that. But let's keep going. We almost done, y'all.
Text messages obtained by CBS News. Kelsey Harris, the other woman in the car, texted Megan's security guard saying, "Help, Tory shot Meg."
I really thought that we were all friends. And sometimes I feel like I put the blame on myself, because when my mom passed, I just felt like I was looking for some type of family environment, and I was letting so many people in, and I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to feel like I got family and I got people that care about me, and just I could hang out with everybody, and I was just going through it.
What was the nature of your relationship with Tory Lanez? Because he has led people to believe that it was a sexual relationship, that it was that you two were dating. What was the nature?
We were not dating. We were really close. We were friends. We hung out like every day. And his mom passed too. So when I felt like we were bonding over that.
A lot of people trauma bond. Losing a parent, losing somebody you love, that can be very traumatic. It absolutely can. Depending on how close you were to your parent. So it can be very traumatic. So trauma bonding, a lot of people do that. A lot of people trauma bond to where we have this pain in common and we can commiserate, be misery, collaborate on being miserable, together. Type of situation. So, especially losing. Shout out to Naomi. Shout, thank you, sweetie. Come with the fact shot, big dog. Yeah. All the time, thank you for the super sticker, sweetie. Thank you, God. Big dot. We love to see it. Thank you so much, sweetie. But they smashed. They see that T Adam. Big dot. They absolutely smashed. Like, so it's like, Megan, cut it out. But I do feel like Gayle did not need to ask Megan that question. I feel like as another fellow woman, there's no reason to ask Megan anything about that. And Gayle said that. She said, people are led to believe that there was a sexual relationship going on between you and Tory. There was no reason for that question to be asked. No reason for it. It's disrespectful. And there's just no need of we don't need to be in between her legs. Like we're good. Like if she doesn't want to divulge that information on her own. Now I can see a question like, were you and Tory more than friends? That's an okay question. More than friends could be anything. Like, were you dating, seeing each other, but to say sexual, what does sex truly have to do with anything within the situation? Like, I just don't feel like sex has anything to do with anything. But at least I'm scrolling fast. So yeah, I just didn't feel like that had anything to do with anything. And Gayle asked the question, so I feel like that was very rude on Gayle's behalf. So yeah, I just was like, oh well, that was gross. I was like, well, that was gross. I was like, as another woman to another woman, I could see a man asking that question. Men are nosy, we're gross. We're a little bit perverted, a little bit more perverted than we should be at times. We're always just kind of got sex on the brain. Megan is a beautiful woman, so it's just like, oh, did he hit it? So I could see a dude saying something like that, but like woman to woman, it's just like, really, was that really necessary? I don't feel that way, but she could have questioned it differently. And I do think when she said that to Megan the first time, I don't think Megan heard her because she has said sexual. You're going to hear Megan because she's going to ask her again, and well, intimate level wise. And Megan's going to say, you mean sexually? So and Gail's like, yeah. I'm like, girl, why are you all in between? Ooh, lesbian. Ooh, we caught you. Ooh, Gayle. Ooh, you and Oprah trying to get Megan to come in there and Black China the situation like she did for Toddy and T.I. Like she did for Miss Piggy and Kermit. I'm like, oh, y'all want Megan. Ooh, Gayle, you want Megan. Ooh, you want to know how low she go. Ooh, you want her to bust it open. I'm like, oh. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. And put this disclaimer.
And did you have an intimate relationship with him?
Like sexual?
Yeah. Did you, Megan? Did you have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? Yes, that's my question.
I didn't have a sexual relationship with Tory.
So why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect from the fact that he committed a crime.
Tory Lanez.
Megan. Megan, oh girl, stop it. This is what I'm saying. Like, you can just stop with the lies, girl. You could have pleaded the fifth. I'm like, oh my god, why you gotta lie, girl? Shout out to Nia for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. It's like, why she gotta lie? Like, just be like, I don't feel comfortable talking about that. I don't feel like any of that matters. We were cool. But she does not want to admit that about Tory for the fact that she already knows what that puts her as girl, you slept with your friend's man, girl, or low key man, not like, just you were smashing who your best friend was smashing. So, right, how you laughing, traumatized? I'm not about to do this. I am not about to do this. She Black Beauty. Tory Sean says she could have said that's not your business. She could have. She absolutely could. That's what I said. She could have. She didn't have to answer because that's her body. What she does with it is her business. That's nobody's business. So, yeah, she. And that's what. And Gayle asked her twice. It's just she didn't want to take no for an answer. Gayle didn't want to take no for an answer because she wanted to low-key smash Pegasus too. Mm-hmm. I get it because Meg is fine. Shout out to Mimi for the specific. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Yeah, the European coin. Gays, we like it all. No, she doesn't. Right. She does not. No, she don't. Some of y'all built like a Tasmanian devil talking about Meg. Who talk about Meg shape? Who? I think Meg got a beautiful body. I think Meg look good. Meg fine. Meg, she fine. She got hooves, but she fine. Finest stallion, finest male horse I don't ever seen. I would have been like, I am on. Yeah, I don't think that Megan is thick, big thick, thick, gummy cheese thick. Gayle like her body out. She does. Gayle, you need to stop trying to act like you would not smash. Yes, you would. Gayle, you a whole smash. Because you already, okay, y'all gonna see her, Oprah and Megan in the picture, and Megan gonna look uncomfortable. Megan in the picture like they done turned her. So yeah, Megan's very beautiful. Megan, she is. Megan's gorgeous. So let's finish. We almost done, y'all. Almost done.
Assault and weapons charges related to the shooting. We asked his attorney about Megan's allegations in this story. She responded that they look forward to addressing Ms. Pete's claims, including her inconsistencies, discrepancies, and omissions when his case goes to trial later this year. How has your life changed since you were shot?
I feel like my anxiety is worse. I feel like my relationship with people it's gotten very cold because I'm not as trusting as I used to be.
I was going to ask you, is it hard for you to trust people?
Like, I've got this wall and I don't want to make any friends, and I'm trying to be as nice as I can to everybody. But new people, I probably don't even hold a conversation longer than 30 minutes because I feel like every time I'm talking, I'm like on the verge of tears, and I don't want to have to explain to strangers why I'm crying.
Yeah.
Half the time I just want to pick up the phone and call my mama and be like, what do I do? Like,
That's sad. Y'all don't think that's sad? Y'all need to be sad in this chat. That ain't sad. Your mama dead too? That ain't sad. That's sad. That's sad. Ain't it Pink Unicorn? Girl, Pink Unicorn, that's sad. Ooh, y'all talking about girl bye. That was sad, y'all. The girl lost her mama. Not a tear. EJ. Gays with the violins. Are these shady violins? These violins starting to look a little suspect. Is these shady? Wait a minute. Sean, are you laughing at Meg? No, I'm laughing at the comments, but I can't be laughing at Meg. Why? And if I was if I was, I'm laughing at the comments. But if I was, girl, if I was, what about it? Violins are shady. Yes, I'm starting to feel like these violins they look a little shady. They look a little shady. Sad to Gayle because she wanted to be her new friend. Yes. Gayle is in love with Megan. I would have been too. I was like, you fine. So yeah, she fine. I'm broken. Me too. Me too. Me too. This is sad. We all go through something. Yeah. Y'all need to stop. Like, we all going through something. Look, there's plenty of people that ain't got their mama or their daddies and stuff. They ain't running around doing this. So yeah, but y'all tried it. I cannot. Violence equals sob story. I'd see Vanna, be nice. Be nice, crazy because her mama died. No, that's not what she's saying. She not saying that. She was beating people up on. She beat up her ex-boyfriend while her mama was living. So she was, she was wild, while her mama was here. It's all a hot air says she is not telling the truth. Mhm. She's like, she's not even telling the truth, Sean. Like, she's not telling the truth. Beautiful Kimmy said losing loved ones are extremely sad, but to attach it to pow and meeting new people, it ain't adding up. No, I do agree with her saying, like, but I don't understand, I should say, when she says that she's like extremely cautious of new people, and stuff like that. Then wouldn't that be even more important for her and Kelsey to still be friends? Especially not feeling like you have a family or, missing, because anybody that is familiar to you can feel like family. So if you've known somebody your whole life, like no, I can't use that example. Like Steve Urkel, when he lived next door to, the people in the family members. There's a lot of people like that in real life to where their neighbors become like family, especially the kids growing up with each other, and stuff like that. So with Kelsey and Megan being familiar with one another, you would think that that relationship would be very important to her, but it just seemed really disposable. And she's willing to bring in a lot of new people. That's what's confusing about it. Because she's like, I'm really cautious of new people. It's like, girl, you always somewhere partying with the JTs and the Carishas and, the Cardis and other people. Like, no, you seem like you don't have a problem meeting new people. Every time we look up, you with a new person. You done got rid of your whole old team and hired a new one, from makeup to wardrobe to, all of that. Like, you done got rid of everything familiar to you. So that doesn't make any sense to me, because you would think that those relationships would be more important than ever, not truly having a family to back you. So with her being cautious, you be cautious of the new people. Everybody around you is new. Everybody. Like within the last 2 years or so, 3 years, you changed up everything and everybody around you. So how does that make sense if you're cautious of new people and more precautious of the people that you let around you, especially being new, to where there's nobody around you that is familiar? Like, I mean, who's familiar? Everybody's new. So hair flip. So I'm like, well, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm like, it's good. You don't have anybody from your original team with you, not even Carl Crawford. Like, girl, you done abandoned everything and everyone, from your past, it seems. So I don't know. That's all. Just like, that don't really make sense. That don't really make sense, but I get it. At least I'm trying to get it. Be happy to say, if Tory gets charged, some will say he is a non-FBA. What is that? Anyway, always moving to the goalpost. Alrighty. Ross says when she is Megan has been working on drinking. From what I gather, she ain't driven a boat drunk in a while. Goldbrook says, BS, I bet she ain't cautious of nobody that ain't doing something for her career. Yeah, Megan, girl, you are she the type of chick is who you know, not who you are. You know, she does hang with a lot of people. She used alcohol to cope. She did. She still does. She still does. She absolutely still does. Megan of the Stallion is like, be nice, guys. Be nice to Pegasus. Oh. Tory said if she confided in Tory, then Kelsey started really messing with him. She got mad and got drunk. They fought and went left, and she tried to cover it up on some weird girl code BS. Such a young girl. Shaking my head. Well, I don't know. I just feel like Megan. I'm not even gonna say that. That's a move for sympathy. I agree. Bringing her mom up. It definitely was. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't still affect her. I'm sure it does. I mean, losing a parent, like I said, can be a very hard thing, very traumatic. Losing certain people literally can feel like you can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't think, like trauma. You know, so a lot of people are like that. So I'm not gonna say Megan. I mean, she was young when she lost both parents. So yeah, that would have to be tough when, you know, but I still don't feel like that explains why you lied and said that was glass. Megan, nope, girl, nope, no, because I'm not about to be biased, Megan. I'm not, because you sitting over there fine, you look good, you is beautiful telling me this story. And it's hard for me not to agree with you. Like, it's hard because you fine. So I'm just like, okay, you're really attractive, Megan. And with you being attractive, it's hard to, I don't know, I kind of just want to let you get away with certain things because you look good. And that is not good. That is not good. Like, I should not be doing that. So, but yeah, let's get into the rest of this interview. It's just a little piece left, and then I'm getting y'all some comments, and then we're going to get out of here. We're almost at a 2-hour mark. Y'all is welcome. Y'all is welcome.
Like, it's too much. I feel crazy. I'm sad, like, and I feel like I have to hold it in because I have to be strong for so many people.
What do you say to people that still don't believe it?
I just wanted to say, who is she being strong for if she says that she has no one? So she says that she feels like she has to be strong for so many people. I'm like, well, be strong for who? I mean, you lost your mother, your grandmother, your father. You don't have any children. You're not married, you know, or anything like that. So who are you talking about? Like, who are you being strong for? Especially when everybody's around you is pretty much a stranger, you know. So who are you being strong for? Jay-Z? Like, who you been, Blue Ivy? Like, who you being strong for? I'm just like, yeah, I don't get, you should be being strong for yourself. Like, you've had a lot of loss within your life, but still, it's like, girl, okay, girl.
You were actually shot.
I don't think any of this is for them. Like, it's for me. Like, I know this happened to me. And I'd rather it play out in court and the facts come out and everything comes out than me having to plead my case. And I'm a victim. Like, I'm the victim. Like, I'm not defending myself against anything. Like, something happened to me.
Hey guys, that's actually not the full interview. If you want to see the full interview, I'm sure it'll be up on the CBS channel.
It sure will. Thank you, Mr. White Man. So what y'all think of what we listened to? Because there's more. There's more. There's more. Overall, I just want to say, I don't know. I'm still just as confused as ever. I'm still just as confused as ever. I wish all of y'all shut up until trial. I don't want to hear from Kelsey no more. I don't want to hear from the bodyguard no more. I don't want to hear from Tory. I just want to hear what they're going to say in court. Because then after court, after this trial, everybody get to speak. Everybody get to say how they feel. So nobody has to hold back, you know, or anything like that. They get to truly say what happened. And I'm excited to see that, because then we'll truly know what happened. You know, the main components can't be components. So that's not fair. That's not fair. It really is not fair to me that Megan gets to go around and interview like this and Tory can't respond, because I would love to hear what he has to say too. I mean, this man is still guilty. He is still innocent until proven guilty. So it's not like he's in jail or anything like that, because they have proof or proven that he's done certain things. So until then, I feel like if both of them aren't speaking, neither one of them should be talking about it. Just let, you know, the court handle it and go from there. And, you know, it is what it is. He could already be there. She would have told the truth from jump. Oops. He could already be there if she told the truth from jump. He could already be there. Very much so. Very much so. Very much so. He could definitely already be there. He been guilty since her live. No, he should have been guilty since that night. It shouldn't have been he guilty because she won live days later. He should have been guilty that day and guilty until further notice, until he proven himself innocent by going to court if he's innocent, type of situation. Her bad. I mean, she would have just told the truth from jump. This wouldn't even be a conversation. It'd be a when is Tory going to jail conversation, instead of what about this and what about that and what if this happened? This person said this, that person said that. You know, it'd be just no Tory going to jail if she would have just said it from jump. But she did all of this. She made this kayak. That's another thing too. Megan, I don't like how you made this situation completely chaotic. And you're upset with people because this situation is completely chaotic. You did it. No, you didn't pop out yourself allegedly and stuff like that. No, somebody did do that to you. You are a victim. But with you being a victim, you made this a circus. You did it all. All of this information, the majority of information is all coming from you. So you made this what it is. So that you can't blame that on other people and try to blame that on society and social media and blogs and all of that. No, you did this. You did. So all of this just being crazy and chaotic, all that, you did that. You sit in that. Because if you would have told the truth from jump, it wouldn't be chaotic. It would be simplified. It would make more sense. Your decisions, your actions is to why you have to sit on a show like Good Morning America and express your tea publicly, because you started it. Like you did all this. So this spectacle, this debacle, all of this going, Black women campaigns and protect Black women, making commercials, going on articles, big articles like the New York Times. You're on Good Morning America. You know, you made this like this. You did. How so? Where has Tory talked? What big show has he went on? What big article has sat down and did an interview with him? Kelsey, The Bodyguard. It's all Megan. Like, so Megan, it is. Like, let's keep it real. All of the information is based off of you. And whatever little tidbits people can get from the certain court dates that have already transpired. But other than that, you and your team is the reason this is a circus. Because Tory's gagged. Like, he can't, you basically got it down so that he can't say a word. Kelsey over there pregnant, not talking. And the bodyguard almost disappeared from the scene of the world. We ain't heard from him since. So it's just, I'm confused into why you keep trying to blame it on other people. No, this is your fault. This is, you getting pop out is not your fault. You being a victim, not your fault. But everything else, your fault. You did it. That's just me keeping it real. I mean, these alleged friends around you probably won't tell you, but I will. It's your fault. Remember, All the information is based off of you. That's why it's your fault. Because if you said nothing, Tory said nothing, Kelsey said nothing, the bodyguard said nothing, and y'all just went to court, this wouldn't be a big debacle. Like, this wouldn't be that. This wouldn't be that. Like, I mean, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hold on, y'all. I have to answer a question before we get out of here. Hold on. You know, Big Dot. If you're a victim, what you said? She's Smooth Brand said, I'm not sure. Are a lot of women flirting on Sean? Is it why? Because it says are a lot. Do you mean why? Of women are flirting with Sean. This man is obviously gay. You are too. Are you jealous? Yeah, and I'm not that gay. 4 kids, no stork, all peen. Yeah, I ain't never been that gay. So yeah, I'm not one of them gays. Vagina isn't gross to me. It's amazing. It's beautiful. When I say Megan's beautiful, it means like I smash. She beautiful. Not let's hang out and paint each other's nails. I'm not that gay. No. Absolutely. My whole life. So yeah. So both of us gay, but they talking to me, girl. Are you jealous? Step your game up. I don't, maybe change your profile picture. I mean, you cute, but I mean, you're not really giving. So, but yeah, you gay too. Don't call out my gay if I can't call out yours. You a whole lesbian talk about I'm gay. Okay. You coming to a point? Stud. Y'all gotta stop competing with us bi dudes. We're always gonna win. Here, Flip. But shout out to lesbians. I love y'all. Big Dot. Like I love lesbians. But yeah, stop competing with us, gross. Yeah, I don't compete with you guys, so don't compete with me. But yeah, that was cute. What you think? It's like, does that matter? You seem a little pressed. Like, why are y'all hitting on him when I'm up in here? Because I still got a dick. I mean, it ain't gone. Didn't leave. Promise. Yeah, here, Flip. So, I love you guys. Until the next show, y'all be good. I will see you guys later. Bye.
Flesh, 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 flesh.